everybody, welcome back to another session of the Hopry. I am Tim Pratt, reporting to you once again from Hopry Studio number 2, or what, hey, we may end up calling it The Dose. We never know. We'll go with it. But again, thanks for coming back. I'm Tim Pratt, and tonight, yes, we're bringing another Founders beer. Just as Mark really appreciates Founders and will mark them up there as one of his top and favorite breweries, I am right there along with them. Frankly, there's not a whole lot that they do that they just don't do incredibly well. But tonight, we're bringing something to you that's an old style of beer. Well, heck, it's an old ale. We're bringing to you Founders Curmudgeon Old Ale tonight. An old ale is something that's a little bit interesting. It's easily broken up into a few different classifications, most of which have probably been aged in some sort of barrel or cask or mixed with some sort of barrel-aged or cask-aged beer. Lots of different things going on with an old ale. One of the things that you really should take away from that, though, is it's probably the closest cousin to a barley wine as you're going to get, but you're just not going to get that incredibly strong hop character. Now, this is just by the book. I haven't looked at this yet. I haven't poured it and done much tasting on it. So we'll see if it holds true to what the old judges out there in brewing competitions might say, but you never know. With that said, let's go ahead and dive into this, pour it out and see what we've got at least to offer from an appearance standpoint. I poured it a little bit rough so I could try to work up a good little head on it. As you can see, it doesn't really have a whole lot, maybe a half-inch, somewhat soapy head. It is clinging onto the side of the glass, so you'll get a little bit of lacing on that, but unfortunately, it dies out rather quickly. It pours a really nice, kind of hazy, almost orangey, kind of copper color. If you can see the bears on my table, my little salt and pepper bears kind of looks about the same color as those, just a little bit darker. You can just tell right off the bat that the malt bill on this thing is absolutely huge. It's just an absolute malt bomb. And being what I would say is closely related to a barley wine, you're probably going to get that. It definitely showcases the malts that are there, but right off the bat, this one, it's kind of interesting. It's bringing off kind of on the front end a little bit of, I'd say lighter dried fruits, maybe like a dried apricot. It's going to sound maybe a little silly, but those weird little candied papaya that you get that are in some of those like trail mixes, it's kind of got a little bit of that going on, but definite dark or dried, lighter sweet fruits. Burnt sugar, almost kind of try to picture just the very crispy top, not the rest of it, but just the crispy top on a creme brulee. It's kind of got that caramelized, almost toasty burnt sugar aspect to it, which is, it's really pretty nice. Pretty tasty on the nose, so let's see if it's just as tasty on the old lips as it is on the nose. Absolutely humongous beer. Incredibly viscous. The body on this thing is as thick as you can imagine. The head retention on this is actually really nice because once you take a drink of it, that head kind of stays there and it just kind of froths around. That alcohol burn is incredibly present. I mean, you're going to know you're having something that's in the neighborhood of 9.5, 10% alcohol in this guy. It's just it's a very big beer, but as I was kind of expecting, there's not a very strong hop profile, very, very light bitterness to this. It's really just a very complex but smooth beer. For 9.8%, honestly, you would expect a little bit of burn there, and that's all that there is really, is just about a little bit of burn. On the cover of the bottle here, they've got a picture of a crusty old sailor that, frankly has a story to tell or two about fighting a day on the sea, but this is the kind of thing that you could picture one of them wanting to come back in and warm up after a long morning, maybe out catching a couple of lobsters or who knows, whatever they're going after. But incredibly nice, warming beer. Again, great color on this one. This is one of those that's going to change on you as it warms up too. I'd had it sitting out just a little bit, maybe 5 to 7 minutes before I popped it open, knowing that, you know, as it warms, it's going to get a little bit more complex. And I can tell just as we're kind of sitting here having a chat, it's starting to change already. That profile on the nose is really now starting to shift more towards a toasted sugar. And you know, that initial fruit is kind of going away, but it's still incredibly complex and fruity because of the yeasts that are in there. Yeah, just absolutely pretty fantastic beer again by Founders. They continue to impress, and you know, really, if you're not keen to the style or haven't really had much experience with an old ale, you know, this is a perfect example of what an old ale is and should be. A big, complex, warming beer, one that you can sit down by a fireside on a cold, crisp night, tell a story to, and you know, hopefully have a few laughs over too. But anyway, once again, guys, definitely want to thank you for coming back again to another session of the Hopry. And with that, I will wish you a happy, hearty fall time. Cheers. Thanks, everybody.